All right. Well, welcome back. Let me start out with this. If you're back and watching these videos, I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get my channel off the ground, guys. I know I kind of started in the middle of this season again, but at this point, the Giants are such a disaster that if I don't have some kind of vent or if I don't have somewhere to talk to, man, I'm gonna go nuts, just like I'm sure the rest of you guys are. You know, the Giants they'll giant at this point, and kind of to wrap up my point from yesterday, man, the Giants end up losing the game and finish the game 30-6, and somehow looked even more embarrassing in the second half of this Raider game than the first half. And you'll say, well, hey, they scored a touchdown, and sure, anybody who ever heard me talk before or even knows me a little bit knows I love Wan'Dale Robinson. I think he's got a big future. But how much of that really matters, man, when we don't have a quarterback that can hit any of our receivers open? You know, I mean, I'm not an all 22 guy. I'm just a regular emotional fan, like most of you guys. But there has to be something said for the talent the Giants have on the outside that's getting open, but just can't get the ball to touch them. And the funny part about that is that it really feels like just a complete it feels the complete opposite of last year, where I believe we're a 7-2 football team with no receivers. Actually, Danny played really well last year, and it fooled me. I was leading the Danny Dimes train, just like a lot of other people were too. But I saw him make throws. I saw him run for his life against Dallas, but make throws. I saw him. We won a playoff game. We went to Minnesota and beat a team that had much more wins than us, and nobody gave us a chance. So for all those, oh, you beat the Vikings, I don't want to hear it. It's a playoff game in the NFL, and they don't come easy. Certainly not for the Giants. So, you know, he fooled me. I thought, he's doing all this stuff for us. 15 touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns, so total 22. 22 touchdowns to 5 picks. In my mind, that's a good ratio. That's a good problem to have. We finally have a mobile quarterback after years of, we love Eli, but we watched him be a statue, in the pocket and just fall down. I'm thinking we have an all-pro left tackle, you know, what looks to be, or at least what seemed to be, and I still hold out hope that what is an up-and-coming right tackle we took 7th overall out of Alabama, obviously that's Evan Neal. We drafted John Michael Schmitz this year in the 2nd round, so I still have a lot of hope for him. And then our guard situation is pretty much a disaster because Bredesen, Glowinski, McKeithen, and Azudu are all mid, you know. And McKeithen and Azudu, of course, we drafted 3rd and I want to say 5th round pick respectively, but Azudu can't stay healthy, and McKeithen, to be honest, he can't stay healthy either. He messed all last year. I believe he tore his ACL at the Fan Fest. I actually was there for that, and I saw that happen. And with that being said, man, it's like Danny took us to a playoff. You know, we won a playoff game last year. We went to Minnesota, won a playoff game. Of course, we got blitzed by the Eagles, but the Eagles were, they're much better than us. And I hate to say that. I fucking hate the Eagles. I don't want them to be doing well at all, but come on, man. Let's just got to be honest. So, again, takes me back to this year, in this Raider game is Danny comes back and, I'm at least thinking, okay, well, Andrew Thomas is here. I just laid out the offensive line for you guys. Obviously this year, Evan Neal's been hurt, so it's not really looking good as far as the ascending side, but our offensive line was as healthy as it's been all year against the Raiders. And due respect, but the Raiders really only have one pass rusher. It's Mad Max, number 98, Max Crosby. And he had a decent game, and I thought. I didn't think he overwhelmed our offensive line. I actually thought our offensive line, allowed him to do things. I didn't think he was great. I thought, if anything, we allowed it more than he dominated, if that makes sense. And of course, it's hard to watch when your offense isn't on the field too long. But watching 78, he was awesome again. I thought maybe he had a little bit of rust coming back first game, but he was good. But guys, I'm starting to drift here. I don't know what happened to our defense today. Um, I didn't see anything, or I didn't see much of anything that really impressed me at all. I thought Tay Banks, was able to hold on and kind of run with Devontae Adams a little bit, but what concerned me is he got smoked by Jakobi Meyers off the release. And, you know, we know he has a problem with, press and release, and that's where he got beat all summer in training camp, and that's why a lot of us thought, he was getting embarrassed, and we were kind of concerned for, his rookie season, and then he kind of developed. But last night, Jakobi Meyers absolutely smoked him, hit him inside in slant route. AOC completely hits him in stride, and it looked way too easy. And that kind of summed up our defense, I thought. Everything was way too easy for the Raiders. Um, this defense that I saw give up 11 points a game in the last 3 or 4 weeks, only gave up 17 to Seattle, who's a much better team as far as on paper, and they're much more talented. And this Giants team went on the road to Vegas and laid down defensively. And I disrespect the defense, but Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden, they had good games. Xavier McKinney continues to be MIA as far as I'm concerned. I don't see him do much of anything other than pretty much miss tackles. At this point, you guys heard the rant last week. I'm done with Adoree'. Makes way too much money to do this little. I feel like he misses tackles. He's always getting up slow, and that's not obviously his fault. You don't wish for injuries, but we're paying this guy $19 million a year to be cornerback one, and our rookie corners and even second-year players in Cordell Flott are playing better at this point. So I'm sorry, Adoree', but you're going to have to go. I didn't think our defensive tackles that are going to replace Leonard really stepped up at all. I thought we really missed them. Kayvon wasn't great today. Hopefully he has a bounce back game against Dallas. What else I want to get to here? Saquon looked great, but again, it's not really a shock when your offensive line and your all-pro left tackle comes back. You watch the game off the left side, Saquon moves the ball. On the right side, there's a little bit more work to be done there. But even with that, I thought we got away from the run a little bit too soon, especially considering that our quarterback is a practice squad, level player at this point. I didn't think it made too much sense to go, pass heavy. Of course, you can make the argument, well, hey, they're just going to, try to stop Saquon, at the point of attack. But my argument then would be, why do we draft Wan'Dale Robinson if we're not going to give him the ball out in space? How is it that we're not giving Jalen Hyatt a chance until pretty much at the end of the game where he finally was able to catch the ball? Why is it that we're waiting so long to allow him to just run a short little drag route, maybe a slant route, let him catch the ball in short area of space and try to run? The guy's a speed demon. Why not try? Darius Slayton with another drop. You guys can put that on DeVito all you want, and I know I'm bouncing around here, but you guys can put that on DeVito all you want, but the ball hit the guy in the hands. He's a wide receiver. He makes money. He's on his second contract. You can say he doesn't make a lot of money, but I don't give a damn. He's got to catch the ball. It directly led to them scoring points because it actually caused DeVito to be throwing 2 interceptions back-to-back because Darius Slayton couldn't catch a ball that hit him right in the hands. Who knows where the team maybe goes after that. But this was a self-destruction like I've never seen before. Just absolutely missing plays that are there. We didn't take advantage. We weren't good enough today, And not only does our starting quarterback go out, which is probably ending his Giants career, but we lost to a rookie head coach and somebody who used to play for us. We lost to our old defensive coordinator, We didn't lose to Jimmy Garoppolo. We lost to a rookie 5th-round quarterback. And Wink Martindale allowed it. I came on here and I was clapping my hands last week talking about how awesome our defense was. Our defense was not awesome today. The only person who was awesome today was Andrew Thomas, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hyatt, despite the fact that he didn't put up numbers, because if you watch the game, you know he was balling. And I'm going to give it to our linebackers. But other than that, man, this is going to be a miserable rest of the season. And if you're still here with me, you're a trooper. But I'm really just here trying to vent because, guys, at this point, the Giants are taking years off my life with the ineptitude and the embarrassment week in and week out. And it doesn't get better from here. We have Dallas this Sunday at 4:25 again. So again, we get to wait all weekend, all afternoon. We don't get the ass whooping out of the way at 1 o'clock. No, this is going to ruin our nights again. If you guys are like me, all week I know the Giants aren't going to do shit, and then the nerves and anticipation and the excitement as a fan bites me anyway, and I go ahead and I subject myself to this pain and punishment. If you guys are like me, you'll do the same, and man, unfortunately, we're going to have to continue to watch this team throughout the rest of the year. Of course, there's no postseason, to even be thought about, and at this point, we're on to the draft in 2024, and it's not even Thanksgiving, guys. So I really do apologize for that, but if you're still here with me, please give me a like, give me a comment, let me know what you thought about the game, let your friends know about me, and see you next time. Peace.